Hi, welcome. All right. All right, so yeah, we're going to keep working on this thing. If you were here yesterday, I started working on the refactor to break up our build process. And we are going to continue that. I've done some work off stream. It's pretty close. And what we're doing now is actually getting socket communication so that our logs can be sort of like sent over a socket instead of like a polling thing. So it's just like more efficient and going to work a lot better, especially with the new way this is going to go. Yeah, so these are all the repos we have for this project. This is the new one. We have a socket one. We have the front end app. This is also a new one. This is the runner. This is basically like what's going to do our build process for us, separating it out. Service is for the API and like the actual serving of it. We have the docs. We have our landing site. We have an example app. And we have the CLI. And CLI is just like an internal CLI for code generation and stuff for this project. And yeah, I've got this up on here, so I know I'm not sharing my screen right now. It's because I'm just putting in some environment variables and stuff. But I'm done that. So let's get into it. Screen it. Actually, I'm just gonna do this in one other spot. So bear with me. Rather than putting the BRB up or moving this to new screen, it's just easier to keep the camera on and whatnot. All right, let's cut everything. Okay, so we're just going to actually, in the Django application, add a new settings file. Project settings. We're just going to make a new file called socket.py. Yeah, socket.py, that's fine. And we're just going to have this. Let me just grab from any of these, this one line here. And it's just going to be env.str. And it'll be the same name. I'm just going to make a default, just make it easier. So it'll be https://socket.-host.app. Cool. All right. So we have that in place on the Django side, which is good. And on this right here, let's see, we should have a config file. Oh no, yeah, it'll just work. Cool. So let's get these sockets talking to each other. Remember how to do this. So basically I have a very simple socket application. All this is kind of like a relayer. It's just a node application because SocketIO is pretty great. And it doesn't matter what language you're using because you're just talking through sockets. But basically it allows us to create a connection and send an event to here that then will get broadcast to everyone. So let's start with actually figuring out how to broadcast the event. We'll do it here, and I think it'll happen in our add event. We'll have like a thing. We're just going to do something like a broadcast log. make that. Can I do that? No. We have a broadcast log, which will take a line that's a string. And we'll pass out of that. And this should be self.broadcast log. And we'll pass the line in. We also want on the initialization, let's have a init socket. So when one of these starts, we'll do that. And yeah, we probably want to pass in a deployment tag, which will be a string. And of course, we need self. And let's now make this one of the things we actually pass in when we initialize it. This will be a string. We'll just do self.deployment tag equals deployment tag. And then we'll do our init or self.init socket and pass in the deployment tag as well. It's kind of redundant. We could just get it from here. Maybe we'll just do it that way. All right. Let's see. So let me remember how this works. So yeah, we have to create the connection. Yeah, let's just, now that we have these tools, in Python, how can I create a connection to a SocketIO node app? So yeah, there's a SocketIO client, so we will want to install that. I have three code bases open because all these things need to talk to each other. And then there'll be a fourth too. Pip install this. Open up our requirements. What did we get? What did we get? What did I install? Was it Python SocketIO? Probably. Yeah, so that's the one we'll put in here. And we'll just put it there and change this to here. And I'm going to take this same one and actually put it in the Django app as well. Probably about there. Just so we have it. And just so we don't forget, let's do a pip install. Pip install. Can I just do it this way? Yeah, cool. Okay, sweet. So, so this is our node application in the Python client. Let's kind of follow this. Import SocketIO. Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll just basically grab this to the init socket. And what do they do? Import SocketIO. What's SIO? Oh, here we go. So we'll have this up here too, just a reference to the SocketIO client. And here we want to actually use our config, which we can just run this also up here. Let's do it first. And here we will use config, and it was, I think, just socket API, socket URL, something like that. Socket base URL. Sweet. Connection established. We will omit something. Hello from Python, sure. Let's just look at my code for this. Connection user connected. Yeah, okay. So we'll connect, we emit something, and then we wait. And then we'll want to make sure we disconnect from this at the end. So let's have a def close socket. And we want to use sio.disconnect, I guess, I'm assuming. I wonder if this client should be actually a part of this class. I don't know if it needs to be. No, I think it should be fine. If I wanted to connect with multiple channels, would I? So you don't need multiple. We would just use a namespace. Is there just like a stop waiting? Let's look at the documentation for wait. Wait. Maybe, I wonder if a better way to do this is actually, I think we're going to make a new file called socketclient.py. And we'll just pass this thing through. So yeah, what do we want? I guess we will take this. Oh yeah, we need the import as well, of course. Duh. And actually, we'll just have something called SIO equals none, and then we'll just do SIO self.SIO. Do that right there. Yeah, so we're not actually going to init the socket, but we're going to take all this stuff essentially. And self.this, self.self. Okay, cool. Then our config we need to get. I'm going to grab it from here, and we'll just get that socket URL. Okay, and then this is something we actually want to start up. Yeah, we might still need the config there. We want to start it up in our worker. Do we want to do it in our? Yeah, we want to do it in our worker. So worker celery app.start. How do I do this? Can I just do like socket client equals socket client? And then can I reference this in other places? Let's find out. Okay, well let's just see if it even starts up. So we'll just do make worker. Okay, let's find out if this is going through. So we have dash host socket here. Let's just view the logs. And we emit an event, but that's not, I'm going to close one of these to make it a little bit easier. So join. So we have socket on join, socket on disconnect. Is join something we pass? think so. Let's see how to do this somewhere else. Oh, I don't have anything for socket. How do I do this then? Socket. That's actually a Discord thing. Yeah, so I have a thing, send event to room. Right, because it just, this is for sending. Remember how this works. So it would send an event, it would go, and it would actually omit it. Which is really actually what we want this side to do. So actually, we might not need any of this. Because this one doesn't have to necessarily connect in a socket. It just has to talk through an API. Okay, let's abandon all of this. We still need the part of it, but let's do that. So we don't actually have to connect. Let's actually remove the socket dependency. We don't need it. We don't need that. Socket, yeah. So we just have our socket base URL. So yeah, broadcast log. This is basically going to do a webhook, so we can just use requests. Do I not have requests? Import requests. No, I do. And do we post to it? We do. So we're going to post something. The URL is going to be our config socket base URL, which we need to do in an f string. And then it will be /event. Event slash. I feel like, yeah, whatever, that's fine. Data. Actually, we can send it as JSON. We'll just have something called payload. Payload equals something. We can say log. Hey, Abdu. I'm good. How are you? How are you today on this fine day? Yeah, so we're going to use the convention of room. So the room will be, and we'll kind of like do a, like something like log underscore, or maybe it's like called logs underscore, then we'll use the deployment tag. Oops. Cool. What else do we do over here? Room. Okay, I will do room, type, data, and message. Data. Oops. log line will just be line. Type, or was it type or event? Type, yeah. Type will be log line. And message, I'm not sure what we would do for that. Let's just see an example. Does the channel, yeah, it's an optional thing. So message would be just empty string. Or I could just do something like new log line. We'll probably erase that. That'll be good for testing. Okay, let's also cancel our worker. Okay, so we do that, we post to there. Yep, let's try it. This is probably going to make this thing go a bit crazy, but we'll find out. Okay, so now in theory, if I start a deploy, did I minimize one? Yeah, I did. So I'm going to make run, and we'll do a little test here. And we should start, in theory, seeing things here. Bum 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 ba-dum ba-dum. Listening on star 3000. That's not true, because this thing's working, right? Yeah, online. Okay, here we go. Oh. Ah, yes. Okay, we just made a silly mistake. Our deployment logger. We create our logger in here, and we need to now pass in the deployment tag. Which makes sense. Okay, running this again. And let us start a thing. And now, in theory, yeah, we should start seeing things. Events received, events, da-da-da. Okay, cool. So that's working. Got a dash, we got a whatever. Beautiful. Cool. We will keep that debugging, but we'll probably get rid of it. Question in the chat. Have you seen a case where database updates were fired from WebSockets? Not really. I mean, Firebase, I guess, kind of does that. One sec. I just got to take a call. All right, where were we? Where the heck were we? Oh yeah, we were getting stuff. That's good. So now we can send the logs that way. So yeah, we're not even using a socket on this. We're just posting to my little event streaming thing. And then the idea is that Flutter will actually connect to this. But I mean, yeah, so we need to basically, well, we have the channel name. Let's see. Event received, room is this. Yeah, okay, cool. Logs, and then the thing. But we know this on the other side. So I suppose what we could do on the service in our deployment model, deploy model, we can have a property, logs, def log socket channel, or socket room, I guess, self. And this will return an f string of logs, and then just self.tag. Cool. Now the only thing is you would only get, when you connect to this, you'd only be getting the logs at the time that you connect to, which is probably fine. I mean, that's how it works on a lot of things. You don't see the history. We will have the history at the end. Make sure I spelled that right. Logs, yep, self.deployment tag, log line. We're going to get rid of message. Okay, let's just remember how this works. So we get the event, it goes, it emits. If there's a room, it emits to that room, the type, the data, and the message. Okay. Cool. So let's actually, do I want to work on this locally? Yeah, that's probably the easiest. So let's open up the Flutter app. Yet another thing we need to open, which I don't even have. Project cd flutter cd-host app. Let's get this guy building. Actually, we'll add the dependency first. So what do I have open here? Why is this even open? I might need that. Cool. I just want to see what package I used for SocketIO on this Flutter app. Let's just search for the word socket. SocketIO common. PubSpec. Okay. SocketIO client. Fair enough. Minimize you for now. And we'll do a Flutter pub add SocketIO client and get the latest compatible one. All right. And let's just look at here. Channel provider. I can probably just pull all this code. No, not all of it. There's this is a lot of code, but we can grab. Yeah, let's just. What's the list dynamic? What is the state of this actually? I don't think we ever use a state. This is weird. Okay. All right. So now what we will do is we will this kind of lives outside of really the clean architecture stuff, I think. I want to make it bigger than deployment because we're going to use this for other things. But it's like, is core 2 core? I think core is a cool place to put it. So we have providers. Let's actually have a socket provider .dart. So we're going to make something called socket client, and actually, yeah, let's call this socket client provider. And whatever, it'll just be an empty thing for now, and then we will actually make the provider. I'll probably do this, yeah, might as well use generators for this. So let's go to our REST client provider. How do we do this here? Oh, we're not even using the generators for this. Cool. Let's just do this then. Socket client provider. It'll be provider, which we want to get. Oh, it's trying to get the wrong thing. Socket client. And we want to import Flutter Riverpod for that. And it's going to get our socket client, which right now has no constructors. Do we want to give it access to ref? We'll figure out what we need. This is fine for now. Okay, so we have our socket client. Yay! Let's have a initialization function. So socket client. And we'll just call init in this when it boots up. Although, yeah, yeah, we'll just do it here for now. We might actually just call this on like startup of our app. And yeah, we'll just have a property on this called socket. Is this going to be what is string UUID? This is so weird. Looking at this code I wrote from an old. Okay, I guess. Yeah, you know what? This is going to be. We're actually going to make this a family, so that we can have a room. So we can connect to different rooms. Yeah, that sounds cool. Oops, room, and then yeah, this will have a final string room. This dot room. We might need other things, but that's fine. And then we'll just initialize it. And we should check first of all. Yeah, let's have. So we actually need these. Let's import this. I'm just really trying to like get my head around how I want to do this. That'd be io.socket. What the heck? What's going on here? Okay. If socket does not equal null, so if we somehow initialize this, and that is, we want to clear all of our listeners, and we know it's not null, and we'll also disconnect. I don't know if this will ever be a thing, but it'll keep us nice and safe. Cool. All right, so we'll do all that first, and then we're going to go socket equals io io.io. And here we pass in the URI. So yeah, we need our host, which is, I'll make this an environment variable, but for now I'm just going to put it in. What was it? Socket.-host.app. That's what we're connecting to. And then there's something else we need to do based on my other previous code. Put this in here. Okay, so we got our socket, and then we're going to go socket.connect. You know what? Can I just make this a late? And then we don't need this stuff. I think this will just be easier to work with, because I don't think that's going to happen. It's probably not going to happen, right? If it does, we'll put it back in. And then we want to go socket dot. We'll create a onConnect listener. Oh. OnConnect. What is this variable? Okay. Handle connected. So let's make a method from that. Create a method. Handle connected. What? Can I not do that? Oh, I forgot an equal sign here. There we go. Okay, we don't need anything from this. What is this anyways? Just dynamic. Great. Okay, handle connected. We can just print out. Let's print out connected. Socket connected. And if socket does not equal null. Oh wait, we know it's not going to be null. So now we want to go socket.emit. And we actually want to join a room. And we have that in our room variable. So okay, we connect, then we say, hey, we want to join this room. Makes sense. Let's have a handle disconnect. And here we just go socket.clearListeners. Yeah, it's not referenced, but we're going to put that, our handler for that, socket on disconnected, handle disconnect. What else do we need? Socket.onEvent, which is like our main thing we care about. We need to, we're going to be getting data back. And we will do handle event and pass that data through, which I assume data is dynamic. Yep. And let's create our method. Handle event data. Let's just print out the data. Okay, and then we should probably have an on error, which we'll do right here. On error. And that has a parameter that we'll call error. Handle error. So fun. Create a method, handle error. Oops. Which, is this also dynamic? Yeah. We'll just print error. Or maybe we'll print error. And then the variable, the actual thing. Okay, cool. So now we now have this lovely thingy-dingy. Handle event, yeah, we're just printing. Okay, so now we need to actually do something to connect to this. And we want that to happen on the, we already have like a deployment log screen probably. Well, let's just look at our deployment list tile. Let's see what this does. So I'm still going to use this. We're still going to pull, at least for now. Yeah, we're still going to we're not going to worry about that right now. But we want the deploy detail screen now. This will not be polling. This will instead be doing something different. So here's our timer. We're going to be getting rid of that. This is a consumer thing. Yeah. So what we'll do is we're going to have something. Here's our stateless widget, consumer stateful widget, deployment log widget. Yeah, let's create something called like init socket. Oops. And let's do this after the dispose. And we're going to have a close socket, which will do something cool. And we'll call that here. And we shouldn't need this timer anymore. Let's get rid of the timer. Let's get rid of the timer. Okay. So, in fact, I'm just commenting out this whole thing. We're going to do this totally differently. So we close socket, we init socket. Init socket. So we'll have a, let's actually just do this here for a second. Ref.read socket client provider. And here, do we know the, we know the deployment ID, but not the tag. But deployment gets passed into here, so that's an easy fix. Final string deployment tag. Deployment tag. Tag deployment dot tag. Wicked. All right, so we pass in that, and then we're going to connect, and it's going to be called, I'm going to make this a little bit better, but we're going to do logs underscore deployment, or it'll be widget dot deployment tag. So we connect, and what does it actually return? Just so I can type socket client. So we're going to have a late final socket client, and we'll call it socket client. Makes sense? And then, yeah, basically we'll just go socket client equals this. Cool. And that will get us connecting to it, because the connect goes and does this stuff, and then we should be good. It's at least a good start. Let's build to web. Web, is it going to go to Chrome? Looks like it will. And we're pointed locally. Is all of our stuff running locally? Seems like it. Actually, we need to turn on one more thing. Make worker. Okay. Oh, there we go. So let's just look at a deployment. We get socket connected. That's a good sign. And of course, we just have a spinner, which kind of makes sense. We should also do our code for closing the socket. Socket client dot. Do we have like a disconnect? I don't think we do. We should probably have a disconnect. We'll just call socket.disconnect, and then our handler will actually do what it needs to do, which is clearing the listeners. Cool. So we'll call this socket disconnect. Okay, rebuilding. I know sometimes with sockets we actually have to do a green arrow rebuild, although this is a web app, so it's already kind of doing that. Okay, so we should see this socket connected, and I go like this. I don't think we're printing out anything. We probably should socket disconnected. And let's actually put the room in here so that we know we're doing this right. All right, here we go. Socket connected, log underscore example, dot, 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 yeah, and then socket disconnected. Cool. Oh God. What the hell is going on? Okay, cool. Let's see if we get events when we're connected. So to do that, I will have to start a new deploy. So let's just click deploy now. Okay, so we see the new one coming. In theory, we should be connected to the socket here. We are connected, and when things happen, in theory, because wait, we have on event, handle event, this should be printing the data from our event, which it's not, but there could be something else wrong. It might have just not sent a log thing. It should have. Let's see what's happening in our, whoa. I'm just going to refresh this. Everything's slow right now because I'm building all this stuff locally. Chances are my video is also getting, my stream is getting pretty corrupted right now. So I see the join, but I don't see the actual logs coming through, which is interesting. Broadcast log should be happening every time a new entry is put in, unless it already finished, which is certainly possible. No, it's still, in theory, going. Yeah, like I should be seeing some logs here. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Oh, maybe I didn't restart something. No, we saw this before. Let's just restart this. Actually, I'm just going to print the word broadcast in here temporarily. All right, so that's restarted. That's the only thing we should have to restart. And let's just deploy again. Oh, no, that's right. This should be going. I'm not even seeing, yeah, the word broadcast. Is add entry. Yeah, all these things are calling add entry. Why? Why is this not working? I should be seeing it in here, right? Is... What? Like, it did all the things. How did this not do anything? Oh my gosh, so many microservices. I need to find the right one. I'm going to minimize some of this stuff. Okay, so where were we? We're here. This goes. You know, the clone repo, for instance, goes and does log.add. Add goes to add entry. Self.broadcast line. What am I missing here? Make worker. Like, everything's working. Doesn't make any sense. Oh, yes it does. Ah. Alright. I know what's going on. I know what's going on. We built a whole new deployment thing, but we're not making use of it. We're not making use of it in the service. Let's fix that. So yeah, we have this whole new task. That's the old one, I think. Yeah, that's the old one. Runner tasks. So what we need to actually do, in fact, what I could do, just to make this way easier, we have our, this is the thing that gets called by everything, but it takes the deployment PK. We actually don't need that. Okay, let's just do this as a one-off thing, and we'll fix it everywhere else. Views project. It was literally using the yeah, the built-in one. So we want to find our trigger deployment view, and we're getting rid of this. This is no longer going to exist, and we don't have to do any of this because it's going to make the tag itself. But all we really have to do is call our new runner task. And we are going to send this async to get it started. Does that make sense? Yeah, so that all this stuff is async. Even though like the big work is going to be async no matter what, we might as well do this work. Or, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't, because we can actually, maybe this thing's going to actually return like a Boolean now. It's not going to actually be an app.task, because it would be nice to know we got, and let's just return true if all is good. I mean, I guess a try. Yeah, I think we're overthinking this right now. Let's just keep it as an app.task. It doesn't have to be async though, because this is a pretty quick operation. And all we have to do is pass in the project PK here. And we do some stuff here just to validate that they are allowed to, because this is being done through the API. Okay, cool. So we'll restart that. I'm going to restart the worker. I don't think anything changed, but let's be safe. Okay, cool. Then let's go here. Let's just restart this. I'm going to turn this off because I'm confident that that was the reason. We saw this stuff go before. Let's go. Let's friggin' go. Okay, so now if we go here, let's actually open up here. And let's go and deploy now. Doing stuff. Okay, we got this. And if we go here, we should see socket connected. And then we start see. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Look, we're getting the frickin' logs through a socket. Ah, yeah. Big win. Sweet. Okay. What is with this double thing? I think that's a mistake. Let's go. It's probably in. Yeah, like what is that? Like every line has this like double thing. So that's probably happening somewhere in here when we go append line. Or, oh, I know what it is. It's because we're actually just printing out the whole. Yeah, sorry, that's just the JSON closing. Duh. All we actually really care about is log line. Okay, cool. So we're getting the event. And then in our event, we want to. Yeah. Okay, I think I have this figured out. So we're going to pass a ref in. So this is access to ref. Or do we actually pass? We might do something different. What we're going to do is we're going to create a. And this will now be. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Because this is going to be used for multiple things. So yeah, we're going to pass a ref in to our client here. And we'll actually make that the first parameter, because that's usually the convention. And we're just going to pass ref in as well. Then we're going to create a provider in our deployment presentation providers. Make something called deployment log. Let's call it like log stream provider.dart. Okay, this will be a simple. This will just really be a thingy dingy. Okay, so we're just gonna call it deployment log stream, which is going to extend the same thing. This will be at riverpod. And actually, yeah, if we do this as a keep alive, that's how we can actually. No, we'd only be getting the data for the point we connect. I think we can just do it as a normal riverpod. Okay, so we'll have a void build, or not void, but it's going to actually return a list. And all we really care about is at least for now, we're going to do that. And we're going to have a string of the tag. Is there another parameter here? I don't think so. And we're just going to return an empty string. And we're going to make a void append string. We'll just call entry, doesn't really matter. And state's just going to be equal to state, and then the new entry. Okay, we need to make this part of deployment log stream provider.g.dart. And now, if we do a generate, we should get that. And then the idea is, in our handle events thing, we are going to go switch data. I think it's just going to be event. Let's just double check that in our debug console, or type. That's good. And we'll have a case for log line. And in this case, we will just go ref.read, and we will be reading our, it's not generated yet, but deployment log stream provider. And here we'll have to pass in our room. Ooh. I mean, I guess we can use the room technically. I could also just do room dot replace. It's logs underscore with nothing. So this would actually be the deployment tag. Or dot replace all. Or replace first, because someone might technically have that in their name, and that would break that. Dot notifier. Whoa. Okay, did this finish building? Oh, I forgot the word override. Damn it. I think that's fine though. Okay, so now we can import this room.notifier. I think this goes here. .notifier. Nope. .notifier.append. What is this? There we go. It's just being slow. And here we want to actually take the log line equals data Maybe we should rename this event. Event data log line. And yeah, all we do is append it on. Okay. Cool. All right, let's save everything. Then we'll go to our deployment detail widget, which right now we have something if log doesn't exist. Yeah, because now how it's going to work is you're going to, yeah, if log equals null, yeah, if log is null, that's when we're actually going to basically be connecting to the thing. Which actually, yeah, we can check. There's no point to even connect to the socket if the log already exists. So init socket equals, which means technically this shouldn't be late, I guess. It'll be final. No, it won't even be final. It's just going to be a nullable thing because we might not always have it. There's no need to connect to it if we already have it. So really we would do in our, we can just go if log equals null, then we want to connect to the socket. And then for clearing the socket, we just can do it this way. If for some reason there wasn't one, we'll just do it with a thingy-dingy. Okay, so we initialize our socket, which is cool. Then if log equals null, final log stream equals ref.read or ref.watch. And now we want to use this same sort of thing, almost. And what we really want to pass in here is the tag, widget.deployment tag. So that should be our list, and then we're just going to basically return this. Return this out, but instead of the log entries, we are looking at the log stream. Why is it, what is, oh yeah, I see. Yeah, we're going to look at the log stream. And the entry is going to be this log stream at index, and then we just have our lovely selectable text. And that should just work. If log equals null, we do that. If it's not null, but for some reason the ID is whatever, we just do that. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Otherwise, we just get the log from the database. Okay. That's a lot of things. It's a lot of things. I'm just checking something. Okay, do we have a new build, or do we have a new thing ready? Looks like it. Okay, let's try. Deploy now. Deploy. There's our deployment log. And look at that. Oh my god. We are getting live. This is so much better. This is so much better. Now, yeah, this seems cool. It's selectable. I mean, this might be better to be as just a single, instead of it being like multiple things. I wonder if that's just better. Can I just return selectable text, and we would basically just take the log stream, selectable text, log stream, and split the right thing in Dart with a /n. Or not, sorry, join. We want to join. We're taking an array. Then it'll be one big thing. I think that seems better. So let's just see if that even works. And we might be quick enough to catch some of it. Let's find out. Socket connected. It might have already finished is the problem. And let's also make sure that selectable text, what even is, okay, there's an expanded deployment logger widget. If we stretch that, yeah, okay, let's just try deploying again. We're deploying so many times. Oh, error. Why did it become error? So wait, what? You disconnect and then connect again, and it... Let's just see what the hell is going on here. What the heck? Did we actually get an error? Possibly. Okay, so we're connected. We should be getting more things here, but I bet it already finished. I don't love this. Yeah, like we're getting new things. Is it just like some expanded issue? No, it's saying it's connected and then disconnected. What the heck? Oh, it's just done. Okay. You know what? Let's see. So we're just gonna do a clean deploy. I'm also considering. Okay, we connect. I'm considering a slightly different approach. Yeah, why aren't I getting them now? We were getting them. Did I just like screw something up? It could be something to do with this. This is the change you made. Oh yeah, maybe it's like, oh, it could be rendering like black text. No, because this one's white text, so. Let's try connecting to this again. What is happening? This was working. This was working. Fresh start. Connect to this. Yeah, I'm getting them now. Maybe it was something to do with that. Deployment log cleaning up. That's nice. Okay, so I disconnect. I want to know if I connect again, if that's what's breaking it. So let's deploy again. Okay, this is working pretty well. And I wonder if we do this, do we get the history? We don't, which makes sense. But I think if I make that a keep alive one, yeah, okay, I'm just going to stop this. Just get a bit more memory here. Keep alive true. And we'll rerun our generator. Oh god. Well, that's running. Hey, Obi. Thank you. I'm glad you liked the Django series. I like them too. I'm glad they helped you. All right, generator went. Let's build this again. While that's building, basically what I want to happen at the end of our deploy, which would be in our tasks, I think what are we doing? Yeah, complete webhook. Deployment tag. Yeah, I send the log up, which is nice. Log, yeah. Do we actually save that though? In our, we should have a webhook for this. We get, yeah, we don't actually save it on complete, but we can. Oh yeah, we have to actually make the log. So let's actually do this. Deployment log equals deployment log dot objects dot, let's do a get or create just to make sure. This will be the value created. What are the things we want to pass in here? We want the deployment, which we have. Okay, go away for now. What else? Entry, that's the actual thingy-dingy. Failed. Okay. So we're going to just get one based on that, which that is a one-to-one field. So we're good. And then we'll just go deployment log dot entry equals payload I think it was just called log, but let's double check. It is. And then we want to say deployment log dot fail, just to be sure. We'll just make it false. We'll do is complete equals true, and the save. Now in the case that we get an error, we want to do something kind of similar. Take our deployment log, and we will do deployment log dot entry. We still would do. Let's actually just do all this stuff in a row. Deployment log dot entry, and then for failed, we do true in this case because there's an error. I guess it's still considered complete, even if it wasn't a success. So that's fine. And then deployment log, yeah, we still get that. And then deployment log.save. Okay, cool. So that'll save our deployment logs, and everything will be good. Okay. Then let's just make sure when we do an error, send complete webhooks and error webhook. Yeah, we do send the log over. Okay, great. So let's save that. Let's just restart our worker for good measure. Let's restart our worker here too for good measure, because I'd rather just restart it than think about if I have to. I don't think I have to. All right, let's test this out. So let us go here. We'll have to start a new deploy, as is tradition. I want to check a couple things here while we're going. Okay, so here's our actual thing going. We'll get a few lines. Cool. Let's go back. I want to see if it stays. It's not remembering it. Why is it not remembering it? That's weird. We did the keep alive, right? Keep alive, true. Deployment log stream. Doesn't make any sense. I'm just gonna temporarily put a column here, wrap this in a expanded live logs. Let's do something like that, because then I'll know that it's actually trying to get this stuff. Oh, my lovely consts. happening here? Oh boy. Let's close this. I'm back. Alright, some stuff in the chat here. I decided to do server-pod WebSockets using block and freezed. What's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with that. I mean, I don't love block, but it's all good. Okay, so what the heck is happening here? This is the weirdest thing. Okay, so what we're going to do, we are going to try deploying. We're going to get our debug console up. We're going to click here. We should see socket connected, and we should start to get the logs. Yeah, and it says live logs. Cool. But the thing is, if I go back and come back in, they should still be there. That's what I don't understand. Is it because it won't connect to the socket again? and it's throwing some error. Maybe, but I should still be able to see that, right? I'm going to turn off the disconnection. Let's just turn this off temporarily. See if that has anything to do with it. Because I'm thinking what I'm going to do instead of having channels, instead of having a channel for each sort of type of event, I think we're just going to have a channel for each user using their like user UUID. And then we can stream many things into it and it'll be cool. So that's probably what we'll end up doing. Okay, so let's go here. The problem is it's probably going to finish way too fast. Yeah, yeah, it finished. Live logs. Okay, the thing is, this should now have a log in it. Maybe something broke there. Anyways, let's just do this. Now you're watching monkey reels of Instagram. Is it because you finished all your work, or it's because you've given up on what you were doing? Okay, deploy. Come on. Okay, so we should get the logs here. Live logs. Yeah. If I go back, those should still be in memory. Yeah, no. What? Unless it's scrolling down. Running Flutter build. It keeps clearing them. How is that possible? I have a keep alive on this. Is it because Oh. You know what might be the issue here? This might need to be... This might not be keeping alive. But it shouldn't matter. Provider dot family. How do you I'm not using generator. How do you family provider family builder? We have create macro riverpod.family. I don't really want it to dispose anyways. This is so bizarre. Like, what is how am I losing the... It just makes sense. Like, I'm just putting stuff in this provider. And the provider... Did I not run the generator since calling this? Let's take a look. Because that would make sense. Buildless auto dispose. Yeah, what? Maybe I just didn't actually generate the code? I thought I did, though. That could be why. Because that would do it if it's not keep alive true. Yeah, just Superlink. I'm not sure if you're just referencing what you're working on, but yeah, I'm not using ServerPod in this project. This is I'm using technically SocketIO for the socket stuff. Okay, let's see if that changed. Yeah, I think this looks different now. So that must have been the problem. I didn't run the generator. Wicked. Okay, what are we doing here? Okay, we're rebuilding. Let's try this again. Deploy now. Deploy. So there's our live logs. We're getting it. If I come back, that should still be there. Cool. Resolving dependency. Okay, async. Let's make sure async is still there. Yep, it is. Okay, cool. So now we're keeping it, which is what we want. Beautiful. Let's put that thing back in. I had the disconnect because I want to understand if I can still get them. Although the thing is, then you would lose you would lose the middle of your logs if we're disconnecting. I kind of want to just reframe this so that we have like, well, let's just see how this behaves. Rebuild. Ouch, you're right. Yes, I am. It's not server pod. I should know. Okay, so let's do this deploy now. Deploy. And let's just see what kind of happens here. We'll go here. We get some logs. We go back. We come here. Will we get new logs? We might not, because I think when the disconnection happens, I don't think you can reconnect. Okay, so that makes me think we want to do this a little bit differently, because I want to do more. I want to do more than just logs. I want to like be able to notify people, hey, your deployment, update, your deployment status changed. I kind of just want like a global socket that you're connected to when you're using this. Therefore, the room will no longer be what we thought it was. Okay, so I'm going to just stop this Flutter app, and we're not even going to look at Flutter for a bit, and we're going to refactor our backend stuff. So that won't change, and in fact, let's just also minimize. Let's just only go in the things we need. Okay, so instead of the room is going to be the user ID, which means we need that. Which means we no longer need deployment tag, technically. This is only used for, yeah. So let's just call this like user UUID. Do. And then the channel name is actually just going to be the user UUID, which is self.this. And then, yeah, we would pass the type log line. The data will be we need more. Oh, we actually do need that tag. Frig. Okay, let's just undo. And user UUID. We will require equals that. Okay, the room will still be the user UID. It's been here before. And for the data, we are going to use, we want the, I'm going to make it just tag, self.deployment tag, and message, or let's just call it line. So that's what we're going to be streaming over the socket now. Okay, so back on this side of things, yeah, a bunch is probably going to have to change to make this work, but it'll be fine. Okay, so when we instantiate this, we also now need the user UUID, which we don't have. So let's make that the first parameter that gets passed in to Celery. And that's the order of things. Yes. Okay, now back on the Django side, when we actually go and do this, which is, yeah, basically here. Where do we actually? Oh, that's the webhook, yeah, the runner task. We need to go and actually send user UUID. We're going to send the string version of project.owner.uuid. Okay. Great. I think that solves that. So now we would do that, and we'd be broadcasting a log. Oh, yeah, no, this makes sense. This is just for that. So we're going to pass that event. Cool, here's an event. Deal with it. And what that thing's going to do is then broadcast it out to anyone connected to it. So therefore, now on the Flutter side, that was faster than I thought. Right here. So we're going to have our socket client. And it is no longer, I don't think it needs to be a family anymore, But I like the idea of a family. Log line. And this will now be the tag deployment tag will be tag. And I think we just called this line. That's what we changed it to. And we're just going to use this. It's no longer a room. It's going to be based on the deployment tag. We still append the line. Okay, cool. Then what we actually want to do is not connect. We're actually not going to connect to our socket client here. Let's just go to our app.dart, or let's start at our main.dart and see where it makes sense. App. Yeah, we can just probably do it here. Ref.read. We have our, okay, we watch our auth provider. And while it's booting, okay, so we initialize. Where do we actually set it to? Okay, set based on authenticated user. Set based on authenticated user. Does that get called either way? Yeah, let's just make a, what is this? This is a provider. Let's have something initialize auth, or initialize socket connection. Cool. So here is where we would go to our socket client provider. And I feel like yeah, maybe this shouldn't be a family anymore. Maybe it will. So let's just go ref.read socket client provider, and here we're going to use our user UUID dot notifier. Oh wait, it's not a notifier. So we'll just initialize it there. And we're not actually going to initialize it there. We're only going to initialize it when we tell it to initialize. And then, yeah, we want to connect when this is initialized. Handle connection. We join the room. Yeah, that should work. Okay, now we actually have to call this somewhere. So basically when we get auth state success, which happens here, we would just use user.uuid. Yay, it's part of it. And actually, let's make this an underscore function because it's something I don't really want to accidentally call. And then if we log in with token, which I think is what gets called, let's just make sure. If you come to the is there a better place to do this? I feel like I have, there's like a current user provider. I kind of want to just call it here, actually. Do we have ref in this? We should. And I'm just going to say print connecting to socket. Okay. Let's find out if we get a socket connection. Okay, that's running. That's running. And let's build. Let's build. Sockets! So yeah, the idea with this is like we would, every user has their own like kind of channel, and it's just going to be a way that we can essentially send, it's kind of a way to do like push notifications in an extent. And, at any point our service any of our services can be like, hey, I just want to like update this user about something, the deployment finished, their password needs to be changed, whatever. And assuming they have the thing open, it will, it'll work. All right, here we go. So I should, yeah, socket connected, look at that. And there's the name of the channel, which is my user UID, I assume. Otherwise, who knows what's going on. Okay, so now I wonder if this just works this way now. It might. Let's try. Oh, we do need to make some changes. But I think it'll work. So our deployment detail widget no longer is going to connect to a socket. So let's get rid of that. We're going to do that. Yeah, we're not going to do any of this stuff. We're not going to do this. We still don't want our timers. And we're going to watch the log stream if the log is null. Deployment. If deployment. Do we pass in a log here? We don't. So we'll want to actually, you know what? What we're going to do is, when we init state, we are still going to try and load the log. So this will go and get the logs with this deployment ID. And we will also, okay, if it's complete, we go and refresh. I mean, this won't matter anymore because we're not going to be doing this in a timer. I think we can just get rid of that. Okay. Cool. Let's get rid of some imports we don't need. Oops. And save that. So let's see if this works. This might just work. Okay, so if I go here, in theory, I should just see the log, because this is the log from the database. Yes, that's working. Now we're not polling anymore. It feels so good. I hate polling stuff. Well, we are polling here, I think. But we're going to fix that. Let's go and deploy now. So now we deploy. And for some reason, it went to error right away. Oh, right, because... yeah, because this is expecting... I think. Wait. We didn't see this before, so that doesn't make sense. Let's see if there's some weird error happening. Oh, yeah, here we go. Unexpected keyword user UID. Did I not? Oh, I didn't save this friggin' file. Now we got to start all over again. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good. So let's just deploy now. Deploy. There we go. I can see stuff is happening. I don't know why that takes so long. Oh, log not found. That kind of makes sense, actually. So we want to make sure when it's not found, result equals this. No. If log equals null, log should be null. What? If log equals null, which it should at this point, we are just going to be displaying this, but it looks like the log wasn't null. But then I couldn't find it? That makes no sense. Not quite sure. Yeah, we go, we get it. We pass in the deployment ID. Does the deployment log... exist that quickly? I don't think so. Takes a while. Okay. Let's go back here. Let's do a... Okay, there we go. We got our socket connected. And this is the one... Oh, it's still going, so that's so weird. Live logs. What? What is going on, friends? I feel like this is something to do with sometimes like the hot reload or the semi-hot reload does weird shit with sockets. Do like a full proper rebuild. Deployment log. Does the oh, I think I know what might be happening. I think we create the deployment log earlier than I expected? We don't create it in here. Okay, if we don't create it in there, what's the webhook? Deployment. Does a deployment? Oh, I wonder if do we have like a signal on deployments or something? No. So why is this? Wait, it is working. Or this is the one from before. No, I saw it live for a minute. Okay. I think it's just something, honestly, I think it's just something to do with the hot reload in sockets and stuff. Okay, let's just go back here. So our socket's still connected. Let's deploy again. Deploy. And let's click on it. So yeah, I'm getting, oh, goes away. And the live logs thing goes away too. I'm so confused. Okay, it must be being made earlier than I expect. Localhost 8000, manage. So deployment logs, what's the latest one in here? 62. Deployments. Okay, this is number 105. Like this shouldn't exist until it either crashes. Where does this go to? Deployment. I don't know why that says deployment log. Let me just click on this. Like this is the old one. That's 104, yeah. So it's not making the new one. So what the heck is happening here? Init state. Okay, if log is null, which it very much should be. Okay, maybe it's okay. Let's just do if L dot is complete, then we'll set state. So maybe there's something weird being returned from this, like an empty one. Okay, we're going to do a proper refresh. God. Oh my God. Set a proper refresh. rebuild or refresh. There's our proper refresh, and we should get our lovely socket connected message once we log in. Nice. Oh, it's still happening apparently. Okay, let's click on it. So this is our live logs, and then it goes away. What in the hell? Okay, we have to just do this differently. Let's make sure this is the code that's doing it. Jesus Christ. So pissed. Too many things running, too many things running, too many things running. Okay, in theory, clicking on this shouldn't see anything now because the log's null. But if I deploy now, click deploy. And we click through. We see it. We come back. Cool. So why the heck is that happening? We're going to have to really figure this out. But running this with everything is just too much. So we'll close it. Let's figure out how this works. Okay, we want the Django log or deployment. Go to logs. Gets a deployment log from JSON with the deployment ID. Let's just print L here. Probably shouldn't have stopped the app, but whatever. Like, it's obviously getting it, but how? The log doesn't exist. It doesn't exist until it's done. I am without words. It's probably something so stupid. Let's close some more stuff. Need more RAM. It's supposed to be a pretty easy thing. I just need logs to work. Then I can actually deploy these new changes. Oh boy, just take your time there. Okay, well, it's taking a bit. It's taking a bit to go. Hey, I'm in. Late. Yeah, so late. But that's okay. It's it's been a frustrating time. We're trying to get our socket logs. All right. Okay, so let's see. So when I click on this, I should see the history of the logs. Wait, what is that? Oh, right, I'm printing it out. Yeah. Right, we're not setting it now. Okay, hang on. What I want to test is deploying. Why is that color? That color is pretty nice. Okay, so now I'm deploying. Let's just see. We're getting our live logs. There is still a deployment log. It is something stupid. It is something stupid. I remember now. Okay, our deployment views. I think I return a log. Deployment log view. Yep, here we go. We return a fake log. So really what I want to return is a... Because wait, how does this work? Try this. Doesn't exist. Yeah, I'm doing it right here. Try log equals deployment log. I just want to raise this exception, basically. Now I understand what was going on. No deployment log. All right, save that. That was our problem. Which is what we want, because now the log doesn't exist in the database until it's done. Are we building a Heroku alternative? Kind of. But I guess you could call it the Heroku for Flutter Web. Kind of. Okay. Everything is super slow on my computer. All right. So now, oh my god. I can't do this. Okay, so let's put our code back in on the Flutter side. Oh, it's still restarting. Holy crap. Okay. I'm not sure what to do here. Computer's just doing too much. I should have streamed through my other computer, because I know that's using some of my power right now, but I didn't. So, too bad, so sad. All right. Django restarted. Let's go to our Flutter code. And you said you like the teal? Good. Okay, so now we're going to go like this, and we're going to go if it's, in fact now, yeah, we don't even care about whether it's complete or not, because this will just return a 404 usually. Okay, so we can get rid of all this code and put this back in. Cool. I can't believe my computer right now. I'm sorry. Do I have some weird thing running that I don't know about? I don't think so. Yeah, I need all this stuff. I need all this stuff. Next time I'll stream through my other computer so that I'm not using OBS on this computer. I definitely want to learn Django. I think it might serve better than ServerPod. Yeah, I mean, Django's like objectively, Django is objectively better than ServerPod. Yes. Now I love ServerPod, and it's got some cool things, but it's very young. Django's been around for a long time. It's got a lot more contributors. It's also has the whole Python ecosystem at its disposal, which is bigger than the Dart ecosystem. Yeah, I'm doing obviously that open mic project in ServerPod, and everything's good there, no problems. I know I could probably have done it even better in Django, but I want to do a full full stack Dart project, and that's why we're using that there. Yeah, nothing I have nothing bad to say about ServerPod. And I think out of all the frameworks out there, it has the potential to be as close to as good as Django as I think more than anything. But it's very young. Okay, so this is still going. Yeah. Oh yeah. The reason I should probably just it's because I'm doing these builds right in the background. Live logs. Da, da, da. So those are gonna be empty because I just came here. I should probably just do something where I'm just printing printing out numbers or something with a sleep behind it, because running an FVM build is pretty. No deployment not found. That's so funny. I think I made that. Yeah, no deployment log found. I'm not going to worry about saving that yet. Okay. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure in the background we're still doing this build. It's hard to tell. Let us get to our Flutter thing. I'm just going to click refresh here. Is this still actually building? Probably. My computer's getting wrecked right now. This is a stupid idea. Oh my god. Yeah, I can't do anything right now. Let's I kind of want to just actually stop my worker from running. This is the builder. Yeah, I feel like it actually finished. But we're just gonna close that. We're gonna stop this from running. We're gonna stop everything. Cause yeah, this is just not manageable right now. And also I have to go soon anyway, so maybe we can just chat real quick. Yeah, we're just closing this. We're close. We're close. Oh, missing one required positional argument log. So that's why stuff broke. Okay, that's good to know. So this was the runner. It was expecting log to be passed in on line 67. Ah. All right. Send error. Wait, send error webhook. Yeah, the log should have been passed in, and that's why it just broke. But it's weird. It didn't even tell me that message until I tried to cancel. I think the computer is just going crazy. But I think this is actually all in place. It's just not. It's just my computer can't handle it all at once right now. I kind of want to do one full test before I call it. I think we should. So let's just clean up my database a bit. I'm just gonna go to my deployments. Oh, yep. Okay, so in here we'll do make run. Like I'm just going to actually clean up my database, just so we kind of see this from scratch. I'm literally going to delete all of, well, 50. I'm going to delete 50 of my deployments, which should delete the logs that go with it. Yes. Okay, we will run our worker for Django. We're running it, make worker. We're going to run our build runner, our make worker over here. Luckily, our socket thing is running in the cloud, so I don't have to worry about that. And now we go to our Flutter app, and we will build this as well. And then we're just going to test a couple things. We are going to start the deploy. We're going to see if it changes to in progress. We're going to click through it. We're going to watch the log, or we're going to watch the logs. We're going to come back. We're going to go back in, make sure the logs are still in memory that we watched from the start. Then when it's done, we're going to go back and we're going to load it again and see if it pulls it from the database, which I think it will. I think it will. I'm just going to check one thing. So log gets passed into the complete webhook and the error webhook. I wonder what the error actually was. Oh, probably just me canceling. That could have been the error that was trying to be sent. Regardless, doesn't matter. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, guys. You saw it first. You saw it first here. I'm going to turn off my camera just to use a little less memory. Okay, so here's dash host. There should be no deployments. Yep, no deployments yet. We're going to click deploy now. Deploy. There we have it. So here we should see the live logs. And we are. Look, these are live. These are coming from a socket. I'm probably going to get rid of that word live logs. That was kind of just a test. Now if I go back and go here, we see we still have the ones in memory, which is great, and we're getting the new ones. Yes. Okay, cool. I mean, my stuff's running faster now. I feel like it all just needed to like kind of take a break. It was like I need to be restarted. Okay, what do we see in the chat here while this is going? Because this will take a minute. Yes, you are right. The only thing I found is that when it comes to hosting, some platforms are relatively cheaper pricing to host Django servers as opposed to servers that use Docker. Yes, maybe. I mean, yeah, like you can host a Django app on like Python Anywhere really cheap. Frankly though, like you're gonna have to pay like any backend. You're gonna have to pay something. Like it's you can't just go with like the free. If you go with a free version, like maybe you can support like a dozen users, but unless your app's really simple, it's just gonna be like it's not gonna support it. I think with ServerPod, the default way of doing it based on their docs, which is a huge pain, is pretty expensive on AWS at least, because it's a lot of things. The way we did on Heroku, I think, is pretty cost effective. But yeah, I can still get a Django app running for cheaper. Like that's no doubt. But that being said, it's like usually what you're paying for, like the app server is just part of your piece, right? It's the database you're going to be paying for. It's the Redis or whatever. It's all your like third-party things. It's all that. Like the app server, that's what goes up when your usage goes up. So I don't know. I think you could get them pretty comparable, but haven't done enough testing to know. Okay, so it finished. If we go back here and go into it, it now loads. Oh, it still says it's live logs. Did this init Oh, I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm calling load. So wait, what? Debug console deployment not found. So maybe it had. Oh, maybe it actually didn't. Let's check our Django backend. Did it actually make the logs? It might have not. Maybe we made a mistake there. No, it's here. Look at this. Okay. So what is happening then? Let's open our network inspector. When I click this, it hits 108, it hits the log, I get stuff back. I'm getting it back. So why is it saying live logs? If log equals null. Oh, look at this. I didn't actually, I swear I did that, but it was when my computer was going really slow. All right, so we're going to test this one more time from semi-scratch. So I'm just going to do like a rebuild because sometimes sockets are weird with the hot reload in Chrome. And so we'll go here. We should see it from memory. Yeah, there we go. Also, I'm just going to get rid, I'm not going to actually save, but I'm just going to put this back to what I wanted before, which is just this, like that. I missed, oops, like that, I meant. Whoa. Wow, having a day. Okay, cool. So now let's deploy now. Deploy. And I click on this, we should see the live logs. Sick. Yep, there's a little error because it's not supposed to find it. I can go in, I can go out, I can go whatever. All right, before I go away, because I'm going to go away soon, any other questions or comments about Django or anything? Meanwhile, I am going to do a bit of a refactor here, or like, because we did something. What did we do in our? I'm not going to save anything because I don't want to interrupt this process. But trigger deploy on runner. Yeah. Now, why did we decide not to do this async? I mean, I guess we could. Doesn't really matter. Let's go to our admin for project. Admin. So we're going to get rid of this. And we are going to, actually, we're just going to call this literally. We need to import this. Project.id. Maybe this one we apply async from the admin because there might be multiple, although I probably won't ever do that, but whatever. And in our webhook, distribution, I think. That's the runner webhook. This is the GitHub webhook. So here we get rid of this and all of this. And instead we'll call this. And for this, project.id. Yeah, because there might be multiple, so we'll apply it async. And then we're good. So the only thing missing, assuming all this is working, what were we checking? Oh, yes. Yep, cleaning up. Okay, it says it's done. Cool. If we go back here now, we should load it from the database. Live logs, that won't show up after we save. But yeah, I think we're good. So the only thing missing now, I just need to get this basically running on, I have to get the runner running on a Linux box. I think I might use like DigitalOcean for that. But once that's up, I can then actually push these updates out, and we'll get people getting their faster builds, cheaper builds, more reliable builds, and not, most importantly, builds not being interrupted by a deploy, because that we do not want. All right, let's see. I'm just going to do some cleanup. I'm going to save everything. We're going to get rid of this. We don't need that anymore. We're going to save this. Save everything here. Everything should be saved here. This I can commit. -m socket integration. And this is just the beginning, because we can do a lot more with sockets too. Push that. What is this? This is -o server. So this is what I do not want to deploy, but I think I am on a develop branch, so we can, of course, see all the stuff we did. We did a lot today. git add dot, git commit dash m, integration with build, runner, and sockets. Although, no, this doesn't even touch sockets yet. Git push. And on the Flutter side, I don't want to actually deploy the Flutter one because it will do weird things. It'll do very weird things. But what do we have? So let's get checkout-b feature sockets. Git add dit, git commit dash m, socket integration with for logs. Git push dash u origin feature sockets. And then, okay, questions in the chat for me to finish this stream up. Yeah, are we gonna probably have a Django as a backend tutors? Wait, what? Are going to probably have a Django as backend tutors? I don't know what you mean. Once we finish what's on hand, open mic. I mean, I do some Django content here and there. I have a couple playlists about Django, and then a lot of my live streaming stuff is Django because that's what I like building my stuff in. I don't know. I have lots of plans. I mean, well, you know this, Airman. I'm in terms of like series and stuff. Obviously, finishing open mic is a thing. I want to do stuff on Houston, which I've talked about in this stream and various other things, or maybe not in this stream, but maybe yesterday's. I also plan on doing, as you know, a server pod course, which won't be on YouTube. Maybe some of it will be on YouTube, but it'll be on like Udemy and all those things. So those will keep me busy. But you know, I'm always putting stuff out, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, I think that's it for me right now. Tonight, my goal after the baby goes to bed, hopefully, is to I just got to get the runner running on DigitalOcean or wherever, which shouldn't be too hard. It's a pretty simple. It's just a Python app. It's a Python app. It needs some Dart stuff installed because it obviously is building Dart stuff. And once that's up, I just have to configure some stuff on the server and start using it. And then I feel like DashHost is like ready, like for a few more people for me to get invited to the platform. Let's see actually if anyone else has come. I have invited a couple more people. No one else has come yet. That's good because I want them to get the new stuff. And then yeah, after that, it's like I want to do some more stuff with sockets. You know, I think it'd be cool to send little push notifications to people, web push notifications, which won't actually be a web push notification. It'll just be the socket thing that we've built to basically say like your deploy is done or whatever. We're gonna have stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know, other things. We'll see. Cool. All right. Thanks for hanging out.